I would say he's not the typical guy that I would go for. My normal type is usually a bigger guy, just a bigger guy.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Little Black Book. Are you mad? Are you mad? Are you lean? Listen, hey, we're going to be talking to you guys about Barnette, the Amber, and the Jess situation. Hey, make sure you like, share, subscribe if you're new to the channel, but click on the bell button for a notification of the uploads, baby. Listen, and for those of you returnees, mineral gang, mineral gang. Listen, gang. You know what I'm saying? Gang. You know what I'm saying? Listen, don't watch that. Listen, you can't handle the heat in the kitchen. Get out, baby. We're going to be talking to you guys about the Barnette and the Jess and the Amber situation. Okay. Or I should say Barnette, LC, Amber situation. So, guys, yeah, listen. I think from a point of, obviously, you know, we saw that Barnette had a choice between Amber and LC. Now, I think I mentioned about the reasons why he chose who he chose on last episode. But here's the thing. One thing I will not accept is innocence in something that's not innocent. So LC, you do not get a pass.
I don't even put myself around Amber at this point. It's just like an exhausting thing to be around. Honestly, I don't see Barnette with anyone else. If he does end up with her, then I was clearly way off.
When you heard him speaking to, when you heard Amber speaking about how confident she was that it was going to be between her and him, you should have known at that point in serious that, oh my gosh, this guy is not playing fair, he's playing games. And at that point, you should have readied yourself and your heart that this guy is out here saying all sorts of shenanigans. Do you get me? So I can't let you play innocent as if you didn't know what I want. Because you knew some outlay that he's talking to other females. At that point, when you heard her say she's confident that it's going to be them two, you can't now come and call man liar. Because fam, at the end of the day, fam, you heard him talking to other girl. You understand? So you're going to get all upset. But really and truly, fam, you should have said something at the time when Amber was talking and let her know what I want. And then obviously gone and told him, listen, I'm going to bow out. But instead, you know, it didn't happen that way. And so she's a little bit pissed. And I understand that, though. It's painful. I'm not going to lie to you, because I wouldn't like it happening to me. Do you understand? Obviously, as well, Barnette, too, was crying about the fact he had to make a decision. I was like, blood, stop freaking crying. All right? You're only crying because you got caught. You're only crying because people are checking you. You're only crying, blood, to make us feel like we're no, make us feel sympathy. I don't feel no sympathy, blood. You had options. You did what you need to do. Bro, I don't agree with it, but you got to handle it. Do you understand? You got to take the burners because you burnt people. Simple as that. You understand? Take accountability for your actions, and that will be simple enough. Do you know what I'm saying? You had a lot of eggs in different baskets. Yeah, you didn't want to scale down. You were trying to see which one will bite first, which one bites the most, which one you feel the most, right? And that's understandable too. But in doing so, you hurt some feelings. So you just got to hold the L. Simple as, nothing else. That's it. Boom. That's a tweet.
This is my real life and my real feelings, and
Hello?
You're not really the person I thought you were, honestly. Have a great life. I'm walking out the door.
I rate that fact. Obviously, LC remained composed. You know, didn't necessarily get angry or anything like that, but just expressed how she felt disappointed and angry and hurt, right? But she didn't blow up or anything, and I respect that because it ain't easy. Because Jess didn't do that. Jess went out on a whimsical fam, went and found Amber and told her all sorts of stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? Whereas LC was more reserved. Said, okay, cool. Do you know what I mean? Started crying, and she's a little bit annoyed, and she said some two pencil words, but all in all, she was much more cooler than Jess was when it happened. Do you get me? And obviously, you know, Barnette mentioned about the fact that, you know what, he had a fear, the fact that he would have a connection, but then it would fizzle out. And I think that's where a lot of his problems are coming from. That, as again, I always say, is when people are playing the field, there is obviously a reason as to why. And with him, it's more of a case of the fact that he thought that the fizz would die out. You know, the early fizz, the early, you know, spontaneity, that honeymoon phase, that energy, that I like you, you like me kind of full-on energy would potentially fade, and that would cause him problems, right? And so it's like, hurt you before you hurt me. You understand? That is always the thing. The self-defense mechanism is hurt you before you hurt me, right? I got to make sure I get you before you get me. And that's what we're seeing with the Barnette situation in regards to dealing with the LC situation and the Amber and the Jess situation. He was just trying to play the field and hurt those before they hurt him. And it may not have been literally trying to hurt them, but in the sense of, I got to protect myself. And in doing so, if that means you get hurt, that's you. Then obviously, Then obviously as well, Barnette, Amber meet on the carpet. And I think what was really interesting is Amber's forwardness. Now we saw that obviously the confidence that she had in the booth, but there's a lot of forwardness even in person. So I think there was a scene where they had met in the middle, and then obviously had revealment and etc etc. And then she literally grabbed the ring and said, "Listen, I'm putting the ring on you."
I'm just gonna stick that right on there right now. Barnette frustrates me.
So that you can't change your mind again. Now it's a bit playful when she said it, but again, just shows you the level of control that she can exert and influence that she can exert as well. So when she did, I was like, oh, okay, got to be careful here, because she might try to control the narrative. And then another thing happened when they were in the room kissing. What you see is actually her coming onto him, her pushing it more than him. And in fact, one point it looked like fam, she wasn't gonna let him go. Like she's gonna kiss him if she wants to, whether he likes it or not. It looked like that because she was pressing up on him, pressing up on man, not giving man no breathing space. Cause
it's literally the most freaking beautiful girl I've ever seen in my entire life.
So for me, just looking at it, I'm like, okay, cool. This girl has some balls in her and has the ability to become his co-equal, and she will, if she wants to, she can. You understand? Because he's got that kind of confidence and that energy. Whether he wants to allow that though, we don't know. You understand? But what I do know about these two is that he said obviously that she had the fire, and that's the reason why he went for her instead of the LC. He said he always knew that, you know, he'll be happy with LC, but you know, with Amber it's something different. Do you know what I mean? And I said that he should go with LC on paper. He should go with LC, and I said that LC is his perfect type, but he didn't go for her because something else was missing, which is about that spark, that energy, that pizzazz. You know what I mean? And you need it in a relationship. Yeah, that sexual attraction, you need it. You need that funky energy, that special tit and tat energy where you're bantering each other back and forth, and it's not personal. Do you know what I mean? All of that stuff just plays into it, and she edged it because she was confident, sexy. I'm talking about Amber now. She was confident, sexy, and just out there, whereas other girls were a bit more reserved in doing so.
The happiest woman in the world, no matter what conflict is in front of us, no matter what adversity, obstacle. You're my person. Thank you for choosing me. I couldn't be.
Like Mark, I feel sorry for him at the same time, and at the same time, I'm like, blood. It's tight. Because the information that he got was slightly different from the Jessica situation. Jessica knew about the other women. Mark didn't know who the other guy was. You know what I'm saying? Then he found out it was Barnette. Yeah? So in this particular episode, he addresses Barnette by saying, listen, Barnette, you played around. You know, you've said several different girls. You like them, da-da-da. And he tries to dress down Barnette. Yeah? Barnette by then hasn't even want your girl no more, rude boy. Yeah, son. He doesn't even want your girl by then no more. So, fam, it is what it is. But the main thing here, just from the beginning, is that I feel like Mark, being 24 and being told he's 24 and being told that's an issue, is overcompensating. Reason why I say that. If the girl that you like, yeah, goes away, chooses another man, and then because he didn't choose her, he came back, you end up being second choice. In this competition, you can bow out, rude boy. You can bow out, rude boy. You don't need to be there, fam. You understand? But because you really like her, and I feel like you're overcompensating because you don't be labelled as a 24-year-old, a young man, you know what you want, you're driven, da-da-da. Actually, you end up overcompensating because you don't need to be there. Honestly, you don't. Like, she's a beautiful gal. Don't get it twisted. When they met, he was excited, he was stunned. But you didn't have to be there. Really and truly, you could have left the situation. But I understand why he did it. Do you get what I'm saying? So that was an interesting thing. I think one of the things I picked up was between Jessica and Mark is that she was always alluding to the fact his age is 24. But then at one point she says, obviously, you know what, when she said, obviously, when she saw him when they come out the reveal, she was like, oh, do you know what?
I didn't know, but you look like normal. You look like a grown-ass man.
Yeah? Is it the beard?
It's a beard.
Okay.
We'll keep that.
I won't shave it down, I promise.
I wasn't sure.
I was asking everybody else what a 24-year-old looks like, and, you don't look, basically, he looks older than he actually is, with a beard in it and everything like that. So, now he doesn't look the 24, that's what's going to scare her, because obviously you don't look like you're dating someone so young. I get it, it makes a lot of sense. But, she said that, yeah, look, I was asking people what 24 looked like, right? And then, what happens, which is really funny and unique, it was unique because in the booth earlier on, she said, obviously she doesn't care about what the world will say. She wants, like, whatever the age, they're not going to say anything about it. She doesn't care about the age thing or whatever, rah, 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 rah. But every word that comes out of her mouth after is about age. Do you get me? And one thing that really scared me, I think, was what she said. She said, that, you know, for 20 years she's been putting off commitment. And I'm like, blood. So 20 years you've been putting off commitment. You want to go after a player. That makes us know why you went after a player if 20 years after commitment. And then obviously she said something which was really interesting as well. She said she's tried to push him away. No, you ain't, darling. What you haven't done is that. What happened is you went after another man. That man sent you packing and you came back with your tail between your legs and then chose a guy who was a safety net. Let's just be real. You have not necessarily been pushing Mark away to get away. No, you've been pulling it in. And if in case the other one doesn't work out, Barnette, you can go back to Mark. That's exactly what's happened. So here we are. Now, one thing that was really interesting was two different things. There was a hug that was twice happened. So the very first hug between Mark and Jess, I think I saw her eyes open as she was looking over the top of his shoulder. And then the second hug, her eyes are shut. The reason why I say this is because when people often hug, and it's very intimate, and you know they care about each other, they tend not to open their eyes. They tend not to open their eyes when it's an intimate hug. And the reason being is just because, like, it keeps you in the moment. It makes you feel like you're gelling with that person at a time. When you open your eyes, you're becoming very observant. You're no longer in the moment. You're now thinking about who's watching, what's happening, looking around, seeing see what you're doing, etc., etc. So because, fam, it's such a tough decision now. Does she go and get her commitment that she wants? Yeah, for the 24-year-old. Does she go and get it, right? Or does she quit this process? Because Barnette's already finished her. You know, and she doesn't necessarily want the commitment from the 24-year-old, but that's the only thing that she's getting because Barnette has exited the process. So for her, a lot of it is just about her. It's not really about him. It's about her.
Love may not be the stereotypical person that people would choose for me, but he's my person. And an emotional bond. It's not someone I would typically go for, you know, based on looks. So let's see if we can build off that and see if that attraction can really grow and that we.
Then obviously when they were on holiday, they talked about sex on the first date. Now, here's my thing. We already knew that Mark wasn't her type. We already know what Mark wasn't really her physical type. For then her to add that, you know, obviously the warning about sex as well, kind of just shows us where her attraction is. Now, I knew she made some good point about not trying to spoil it at a time, etc., etc. You know, focus on the fact that, you know what, you know, I want to just get to know you more. Don, you've been getting to know me for 5 days. And then you decided to say my age was a problem. So what is it? Yeah, you've been getting to know me, fam, for 5 days. And then you then end up turning around saying my age is a problem. Were you not getting to know me? Did you not know me? Fam. So when she was using that as an excuse, I was watching having sex, I just felt like, no, she's holding back. Doesn't want to make a mistake. Doesn't want to enter into the sex domain. It will confuse things in the sense of the fact that her getting out, not necessarily confuse things in terms of their relationship, but in terms of her exiting cleanly. I told you about this when people try to exit relationships. They try to do certain things to exit the relationship, cleanly, without as little or no fuss or mess. So when she said about the no sex thing, it's meaning if I then change my mind, I can quickly exit the relationship and there shouldn't be a problem because I'm not committed on that physical level. Mad things. And not only that, she made a point that, you know, he was better looking in person. Remember, at the carpet, yeah, when they met you for the first time. So now Mark is not my type. You know, I usually like him big and muscle. Darling. So and now you don't have sex. Why? Are you sure that what you meant on the carpet that, you know, he's better looking than you expected? Are you sure?
In the flesh, this is him. And I'm struggling a little bit so far in just meshing the two people.
Later on, she'll say that she's struggling to mesh the two voices together, you know, to mesh the voice and the person together. And there's a distortion. Why? Because she said on the carpet, you're better looking than I expected, but now there's a distortion between the voice and the body. What is it? Darling, you already said that, you know, he's got a beard, he looks older pretty much than he actually is. What is it you're talking about? You're talking in circles. What you mean to say is, you know his age and it's affecting you still and you can't give yourself to him because it's like you're doing a baby or doing a little kid. That's how you're seeing things. And look, I understand your viewpoint. I don't necessarily agree or disagree. I'm just saying that I understand the viewpoint. But let's be honest. So you can see here that she's not being honest because, again, there's a fear. And fear makes us do things that we don't really want to do, right? So fear is the fear of the fact that she'll be called a cougar or be made to feel bad because she's older than him or taking advantage of him. But at the end of the day, he's a grown-ass boy. He can take care of himself. Yes, you may be older, but he's chosen you. So, all right, go forward with it. Do you know what I'm saying? But sometimes we're scared that if we go forward with certain things that we really, really... I wouldn't say she even really, really wants. But yeah, I mean, the rest of us who obviously go for things that we really want, sometimes there can be apprehension there. Like, as in, scared that this one thing can destroy your reputation, can destroy how people think about you. You don't want to be insulted, you don't want to be rejected by other people, you don't want to be labelled. There's all sorts of things happening which people don't want. So I totally get it. You know, I understand her viewpoint from that aspect, but it is inconsistencies that have been brought up that I'm seeing from her as well. So yeah, for me, the Mark and the Jess situation is such an interesting one. And, you know, you can see that he was so excited when she came back and they're talking about, you know, making things go forward, etc. When he proposed to her, you know, the fact that she took so long, though, is an issue. Like, she took long. That let me know that obviously she was trying to just buy time. She ain't on it. But yeah, there were so many different things, I think, with the Mark and the Jess situation. Obviously, they had a nice little, you know, he had a nice little kiss on the cheek when he was standing by the balcony and looking over the waves and looking over the city. But other than that, my guy, it's a long one. Do you understand? So yeah, guys, let's leave it there. What's your opinions of the Mark and Jess situation? I personally think Jess is stringing him for works, mate. I think Jess is stringing him along, mate. What's your opinion? Let us know down below. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Click on that bell button for the notifications of the uploads, baby. I appreciate you. You ain't got the minerals. You ain't got the...